Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be doing the round one fantasy football reactions, the winners and losers from the round one of the NFL draft. Rest easy. You're in the right place if you're looking for fantasy football reactions. I am Liam Murphy, and I am a three-time NFL best ball champion. Speaking of, Best Ball Mania will be here on Monday. You can find my rankings, which will be live end of day Monday, at beatbestball.com. Let's pull up an image of the round one of the NFL draft. An exciting draft. An exciting draft where, it was a draft where, to me, a lot of the picks were relatively mocked. Just a couple that stick out to me is tight end to the Bears was pretty popular. There was some Ted McMillan steam to the Panthers. We got that the Jags wanted to go skill player. Tyler Warren to the Colts, very popular. Maxwell Hairston to the Bills, pretty popular. The Falcons going edge rusher. The Bucks going wide receiver. All these things kind of made sense. The Packers going Matthew Golden made sense as well. But let's get straight into the winners and losers. So kicking it off at the top, a big winner from the draft last night is Trevor Lawrence. People have been saying, people have been forgetting about Trevor a little bit, the former number one overall pick. Trevor's already a winner in the sense that he has a huge upgrade at head coach with Liam Cohen. And now you get to be throwing to Brian Thomas Jr. on one side of the ball, Travis Hunter on the other side of the ball. We could be looking at this wide receiver duo as the unquestioned best in the league in a couple years. You feel for the Browns because the Jags gave up a lot to get Travis Hunter. They gave up their future first. They gave up a second-round pick this year. They overpaid in a sense, but almost everyone thinks Travis Hunter is going to be a Hall of Fame talent, so you kind of have to do it for both parties. Cleveland, they kind of had to do this because they don't have a quarterback. They did the Deshaun Watson mess. They need the extra picks to get the quarterback in the future for them. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence, a huge winner. How's it going to shake out between Diami Brown, Gabe Davis, Parker Washington? I don't know. These guys and, strange for them at tight end. All these guys are going to be down the pecking order. But yeah, the Jags going Travis Hunter. Huge win for Trevor Lawrence. Very exciting. They've already said that Hunter is going to start on offense. So he is a wide receiver. There are people who are still committed that he is playing full-time corner. We'll see those folks later. But could not be more excited for Hunter landing with Trevor in Jacksonville. Our next fantasy football winner is none other than Bryce Young. Bryce Young getting Ted McMillan. A very exciting landing spot because they have, old man Adam Thielen. How long is he going to be relevant? They have Xavier Legette, who they took at the back end of the first last year. And, Legette is kind of similar to Keon Coleman. Seems good. Probably not going to be an elite wide receiver. So getting a guy who potentially could be elite makes a lot of sense. And then you have Jalen Colker, who kind of feels like he's going to be the odd man out, probably the wide receiver for Carolina to start the year at least. But Bryce Young, after being benched mid-year last year, they invested on the O-line. They have the head coach upgrade. And, he averaged somewhere around like 22, 21 fantasy points in his last like 8 to 10 games or something. So getting Tet there, trying to figure out, is Bryce Young the guy we're committing to for the next decade? A huge priority for Carolina and exciting for Bryce Young. You feel a little bit uneasy about Bryce because he was benched mid-year last year, but it does seem like things clicked. He has a little bit of rushing upside. So It's a win for Tet going top 8 in the draft, where opinions were anywhere from like 5th overall to 30th overall. And it's a win for Bryce Young. Our next winner is Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield not only has Mike Evans, not only has Chris Godwin, not only has competent tertiary pieces such as Jalen McMillan and Kate Otten. Sorry, guys. But now he gets Emeka Egbuka, who many folks had as the wide receiver 3, if you count Hunter, in the class. It's surprising on some fronts that they would go Egbuka when they have these wide receivers, but I personally like it a lot for Tampa because when you have a good quarterback, which Baker Mayfield is unquestionably good, but he's not elite, right? He's not in the same class as Patrick Mahomes. He's not in the same class as Josh Allen. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not even a Justin Herbert. You simply need to surround that guy with studs everywhere on offense if you're going to beat these elite quarterback teams in the playoffs, right? You hope that, hey, we have a still, pretend Ibuka is the third best wide receiver on Tampa, facing the third best corner on another team, that's a huge win for Tampa. It's a win for Baker in Dynasty in the sense that he's going to have talent around him forever. At the same time, it adds massive question marks to Chris Godwin and Jalen McMillan. Godwin, we have question marks because Egbuka kind of overlapping skill set. Godwin was hurt. Is he going to be ready to start the year? Is he going to start on PUP? The Patriots did try to pay him a lot. The Bucs paid him a lot, so that's a good footnote, but I don't know. And then Jalen McMillan, is he just the odd man out? Is he just wide receiver 4? He's going to tumble in fantasy drafts. It's going to be a headache to figure it out, maybe, but Baker, an unquestioned winner from the draft. Our next winner is Jordan Love, getting a first-round wide receiver for the first time in, I think, 20-something years. Those trends are pretty random and meaningless to me. I think going Matthew Golden made a lot of sense for Green Bay in the sense that the rub on them is they have all these wide receiver 2s. No one's a real alpha, and they're hoping that Matthew Golden can be that guy for them. Similar to Tampa, similar to Carolina, there's going to be an odd man out. Is it, Romeo Dobbs? Who's the one there? Is it Golden? Is it Jaden Reed? Is Dontavian Wicks the 4? Is Kraft ahead of Golden? All those things we can sort out later. But for now, Jordan Love getting a first-round pass catcher and one that had, some people had him going top 10 in the draft. Feels pretty good for Jordan Love, who I'm a big believer in for this year. Some other winners from the first-round draft is some of the veteran running backs currently are looking like winners in the sense that we could have seen Ashton Jeanty land with Chicago. We could have seen him land with Jacksonville. Currently, DeAndre Swift, Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, they have dodged the number 1 landmine in Jeanty. So all of that could change come round 2, round 3, but currently, only one running back going in the first round. A lot of the veteran, or 2 running backs, sorry. Najee, loser. We'll get there, though. Only 2 running backs going in the first round. We didn't see Travion Henderson. Seems pretty decent. Our next winner is the Browns pass catchers, simply because Travis Hunter didn't land there, in the sense that David Njoku, Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, all of these guys go a leg up on the target order for Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland doesn't have their quarterback yet, but I think they fixed that in round 2 tonight. It's a big win for all these guys that they're not going to have to compete with a talent as good as Travis Hunter for the ball. Omarion Hampton is my next winner as far as his ceiling case. Now, this is really complicated because Najee Harris is already a Charger, and I tried to tell these folks. Stop taking Najee. He's not good. They're going to take a running back. Stop taking him in the 60s. They couldn't help themselves. Omarion Hampton lands with the Chargers, and this is complicated. In a pure ceiling case, I would say this is a great landing spot for Hampton. You have the Chargers, you have the Roman Wilson offense, or the Greg Roman offense, and if he is the unquestioned guy, this is a locked and loaded round 2 pick in fantasy. However, from a median baseline, someone like James Cook, someone like Breece Hall, right? Like someone like Chase Brown. Currently, these guys who are going around Hampton in pre-draft contests, they don't have RB2s who we think are going to get the ball as much. So if Hampton were to become the guy, and I don't think Najee's very good, so I think he has a good chance of that. Pure ceiling, let's go. I don't know how the market's going to react here, though, because some want to put him higher because he landed with the Chargers. He went round 1. Some want to put him lower because Najee Harris is there, who, I might be drafting Najee if he drops to the 150s, which arguably he should be around. So keep an eye on Hampton in the market. But if it is Hampton in weeks 15, week 16, week 17 of the Best Ball Mania finals, you're going to want him on your teams. And then, some other winners I would say are Travion Henderson, Caleb Johnson, Luther Burden. All these guys did not get taken in round 1. However, when you look at the top of round 2, which I posted earlier, you got teams like Cleveland, the Texans, the Titans, the Raiders, the Pats, the Bears twice, the Browns twice, the Saints. So you could see Travion Henderson going to a lot of these teams. Cleveland needs running back. The Bears need running back. So maybe they get even a little itchy. Maybe they trade up for Henderson. Caleb Johnson, maybe he sneaks in on one of these picks. All of these teams need wide receiver. So Luther Burden is almost assuredly going to go to either Cleveland or Texas or the Titans. They'd sign Tyler Lockett, but that's not enough. The Raiders, Trey Tucker is very replaceable. The Pats need wide receiver big time. The Saints, Shedeur Sanders as well. A lot of these teams need quarterback. The Browns do. The Saints do. The Jets, I could even see them taking quarterback. So these guys didn't go round 1, but I would say it's highly likely they're off the board early tonight. Let's switch to some losers. So we already talked about some of these, but yeah, definite loser is just clarity in Tampa. Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, one of these two guys is likely to be a loser. And Mika Ibuka as well. I don't know how the market's going to treat it, but, if you have Baker, I would just be doing different combos of these guys. And even be buying cheap on McMillan. Godwin has to drop in fantasy drafts. This is not good for him. And perhaps maybe he will start on the pup, Chris Godwin. I would say a loser. And, I had some big ranking wins for me. Some of them, such as like Najee Harris, 50 picks past ADP, win. Another bold one is I had Tyler Warren, 30 picks past ADP. Why? Well, I simply thought he was going to be a Colt, and Tyler Warren is a Colt, and this is a loser as far as his fantasy production for this year. And I would also say it's a loser for the Colts pass catchers. So Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Tyler Warren. This is simply not an offense we're really thrilled about the passing volume, the passing touchdowns, the passing yards. And so if the whole offense ran through Tyler Warren, okay, that's good, right? If the whole offense ran through Josh Downs, okay, that's good. But as far as clarity, it's pretty murky right now. It's not where you want to be landing, so not exactly the greatest landing spot. Oh yeah, to finish up the winners, I did want to say two other things. GT to the Raiders. It wasn't my favorite landing spot. I would have preferred him on the Bears or the Jags, but as far as a touch ceiling, there's no one there, right? Raheem Mostert in a bag of dust is in his way. This man could lead the NFL in touches. And then Colston Loveland with the Bears, that Ben Johnson wanted him. He's going to be used as a vertical wide receiver, as a tight end. He's going to rise in drafts. So huge win for him. Huge win for Caleb Williams as well. Continuing the losers, we already mentioned this, but the odd man out in Carolina and for the Packers. So I don't know if it's Dobbs, Wicks. I don't know if it's Thielen, Coker. I could see it going a couple different ways, but whoever is the wide receiver 4 on these teams is a loser, perhaps the tight ends as well. I personally think the Panthers guys are more of a loser than the Packers guys, just because we've seen the Packers do a 4 wide receiver rotation last year with Christian Watson. The Panthers, I could see it going like Adam Thielen to start the year, Jalen Coker to end the year, something like that. But yeah, it's murky for these guys, and they all should kind of fall in drafts. Najee Harris, unquestionably our biggest loser from the round 1 of the NFL draft. I mean, people were taking him straight up over Joe Mixon. It was insane. He's not good, right? He stays healthy, okay? He's not explosive. He's not good enough to prevent a team from taking a running back if they like him. I tried to tell the folks about this. Najee, unquestionably, your biggest loser of the draft night. I'm personally loving it. And then, yeah, Jamison Russell, also a loser. Jackson Dart lands with the Giants, making the Giants pieces also winners to me. Malik Neighbors and co. In the sense that Dart, okay, he has 2 mentors now. You got the angel on one shoulder, Russell Wilson. You got the devil on the other shoulder, Jameis Winston. Throw it down there. Just throw it. Just throw it deep. Who cares about the interceptions? So Dart with a couple veteran mentors, and hopefully we see him starting at least by mid-year. I think he's a winner. Those other guys are losers. And that's really what I have for the round 1 winners and losers. There are some nitty-gritty things you could say. You could say, okay, Drake May's a winner. He got an O-lineman. He needed an O-lineman. Sure, right? Like, Jaden Daniels, I think, is a winner, right? He got 2 upgraded O-line pieces. You could say like, oh, the Falcons are winners. They got 2 edge rushers. I'm sure these things will matter in real football, but as far as fantasy football, those are the big takeaways for me. Round 2 is tonight. Some people asked me about my opinions on the Best Ball Mania prize structure and all of that. We're gonna keep this video strictly to round 1 of the NFL draft. A nice, quick, and easy video. We will be back Monday with our first Best Ball Mania stream. If you want to get my rankings for Best Ball Mania, I will have those live by the end of night on Monday. So day 1 of Best Ball Mania for best ball season. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know who your winners and losers are of round 1 of the NFL draft. There's a lot of talent still on the board. So pretty exciting round 2, round 3 of the NFL draft tonight. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. Hit the like and subscribe button. Appreciate you.